Okay. Hello, everybody. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all well. First of all, Assalamu alaikum, everybody. I want to thank everybody. Okay, I want to thank everybody that has sent me, that has either sent me or my family a condolence message. People that have called from all around the world. People that are friends, people that are family members, people that are associates, people that I've ever done business with. I want to thank you all. Okay, I want to thank you all for the calls. I want to thank you all for the message. I want to thank you all for the kind words. I want to thank you all for your message overall. And this video really is a thank you. Okay, thank you to my grandmother for all the lessons that she's taught me, and I'm going to cover a couple of bullet points with you that I genuinely believe was what she lived for, what she stood for, and what I plan to carry her message moving forward. But first of all, I want to thank you once again. Okay, thank you for all the messages and for the kind words. I want to share with you a handful of lessons that I've learned from my grandmother, Ayeyo Axado. She honestly, she's one of the people that has touched me the most, and I've seen that not just through the impact she's had on my life, okay, but really and truly the impact that I've seen her have on not just her grandkids, but overall her kids, and even the kids that she was, auntie, for, right? And that was shown, over the past 2 3 days, you know, throughout her funeral, her burial process, throughout when she was in hospital. Bear in mind that she was taken in and out from four different hospitals, and seeing that, and also seeing that one of the hospitals, even after she passed away, them saying that, oh, we're not going to take you because, oh, she died from corona, now we can't take her then. And my dad and my uncle saying, hey, at least let's keep her here for tonight in the fridge after washing her, and then we can take her tomorrow to her funeral place. And the hospital is actually saying, no, we won't, right? And having someone that she was an aunt for come in and tell them, no, she is going to be here. And just that little bit shows you that sometimes someone doesn't have to be your child, right, for you to have an impact, an impact in their life. And and then when you're gone, that person shows up, and does what they need to do to make things easier, even after you're gone, right? So that was a message that really hit me, over the past 2 days. Another one was the fact that, she died in Mogadishu, right? She died in Somalia, and the capital, and that because of the what what's it called, the government election, all of that's going on. There's like every road is like every 5 minutes is like there's a blockage. You can't cross there, right? If you're driving, and the fact that the ambulance couldn't cross, and someone within the government coming and saying, hey, this is my aunt, so she has to go through, and her being allowed to go through, that was another thing that showed me that, so these are two different people that she's had an impact on their life, that they went and became somebody, and now they're coming back, to show that they really cared, and the impact that she's had on their lives. And another thing that I've learned from her is to have faith be the center of my life. She always. I remember when the last time we saw each other was in Ethiopia, and her telling me, "Hey, have faith as the center of your life." Bear in mind, this is like, I don't know, years ago, and she was telling me, "Hey, you need to have faith as the center of your life." So, and then taking that message, for the last 3 years, or 2.5 3 years, having faith be the most important thing in my life, then having family, and actually that was the message that she preached to me, hey, faith comes first, then family, okay, and then everything else after that. And it's crazy because I can see that that was the life that she lived. Family was one of the most important thing in her life, and I'll give you an explanation to that. Um so the place that she usually lived was this place called Lusamareb, right? It's not in the city. It's an hour and a half, an hour 20 minutes flight from the city. Okay, it's like a basic countryside, right? And it was crazy because I actually been there. Okay, I've been there myself, and last time I've been there, I it was like a forest, right? It was not really built up place, and all this time I thought it was exactly like how I left it. But then my dad is there now, because she actually asked to be buried there, right? Um, that's where her mother's buried. Her, that's where her uncles and aunties and like basically not, the majority of her family are buried. And the fact that she actually chose there, was something that also touched me. Her saying, "Hey, I want to be buried next to my family," where I know where my grave is going to be taken care of. So that was another thing. And also the fact that all she done was lived for her generations to come. Right? She lived one of the most simplest lives, right? But every single thing that she's done was, hey, for my kids, for my kids' kids, in fact, right? It wasn't even for her kids. And that message, honestly, she never said it to me, but now that she's dead, may Allah be pleased with her, may Allah grant her Janatul firdows, and may Allah have mercy on all of our parents, all of our grandparents, all of our great grandparents, and all of those above, right? But it's crazy because now, one of the reasons that I work hard, one of the reasons that I'm fanatic about my success is not really for me, right? It's not really for me, but for my generations to come. Who would be able to say, "Hey, it's because of this man that I don't have to go to work." Hey, it's because of my grandfather that now I can pursue my passion, which is to do charity in Somalia. Hey, it's because of my great great grandfather that now I'm a doctor working for free because of what he's done, right? Because of what he's been able to accomplish. And my grandma's message actually stayed with me, honestly, and it's still like, my plan was to not do any business, not to do anything for about a couple of days until my head, becomes calm and cool, right? But then I thought to myself, if she was in my spot, she wouldn't be cool and calm. She wouldn't want to say, let me take a few days off. She would rather say, hey, what, let me get to work. This is when my family need me. This is when I need to go and make it happen. This is when I need to go chase whatever it is that I'm after, right? So now I'm thinking to myself, wow, all that she lived for and the place that she left is so built up. I remember when I was there was like 3 rooms, and now I'm hearing it's like 7, 8 rooms, right? I'm like, wow, that shows you that she wasn't really living for her, but she was living for her grandkids. Because at the end of the day, you and I both know that we're not taking anything with us except our deeds, except our contributions. All our kids, our kids' kids, our belongings, our houses, cars, everything, business, everything's gonna be left behind. So that was another thing that actually stayed with me. And another thing is that one of my messages for everybody that has parents, grandparents, great grandparents, if you're lucky, is, hey, go spend time with them. Get spend time with them. You never know when their time is over, and they never know when your time is over, right? So go spend some time with them, right? Go talk to them, right? And be the calmness that they desire from the world. Because think about it, right? Imagine how they would feel if you give them a call or a text or a video call every week once, right? Every week twice, right? Imagine that being a regularity in their life. How would they feel like? I feel so bad knowing that there were people that had they had a there were people that had data in my grandma's house, right? My uncle, my aunt, and being able to speak to her once a month. That's what I used to do, unfortunately, right? Once a month. I feel so embarrassed now. So if you're someone, specifically if you're in the UK or US or Canada or Western world, and your grandparents are there and you're not seeing them, I'm telling you, don't make the mistake. Okay, go spend time with them, right? Go care for them, love them, cherish them, right? Have fun with them. Let them tell you their childhood stories. Let them tell you how they met, your grandfather, right? Hey, if your grandfather's around, let him tell you how he got to know your grandmother, right? Let them tell you how their marriage process was like. Let them tell you where they got married. Let them tell you how their childhood memory was like. Let them educate you on how life was like 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago, right? Let them tell you all of that. My grandparents were together for 50 years. The oldest son, the oldest son's 50 years old, right? So now, in fact, one of my plans this year is to go to Somalia. Before I wanted to go, and then I canceled, and then now I want to go because I want to go see my grandma's funeral. I want to go see, okay, what she left behind, and I want to go spend some time with my grandfather. right? I want to do that. So I highly encourage you, hey, go take the time, get to know them, spend time with them, love them, embrace them, cherish them, right? And let them feel like, hey, I have contributed to society. I have given birth to someone that has given birth to someone else that now is an asset to society. That's an asset to the community. That's an asset to both the religion and the country. Right? If you're from Pakistan, I want your grandparents to be able to feel like, you know what? I've played a huge role in the world. I have produced this person, and they are going to go and impact a lot of people. They are going to go and educate a lot of people. They are going to go and empower a lot of people. They are going to go and help a lot of people, right? Because what are we here for? We're here to do our bit and go, right? And what is our bit? Our bit is to help as much as we can, right? To the human race, to the human society, right? I've never run out of words to say, but today, honestly, it's just, my grandma was someone that was close to me, someone that I loved, honestly, and I've heard some of the challenges that she's been through, and I'm telling you, a lot of us would have failed in those type of situations. A lot of us would have never made it, to the light at the end of the tunnel. But the fact that she has been able to, something that honestly has touched me a lot, right? And the last thing is, right, the message that she had, right? And her message really and truly was to better people, right? To better those around her and to work for her grandkids, right? And me being one of her grandkids, honestly, it's something that, even if it means advices, even if it means talking to someone, right? She's always been that type of person. And you can see from the level of people that were touched by her death, right? So I want you to think, okay, if your grandparents are dead, if your mother's dead, unfortunately, if your father is dead, may Allah be pleased with them, right? If any of your grandparents are gone or if they're alive, I want you to figure out what was their message. I want you to figure out, what did this person live for? Because otherwise, why would they give birth to us if we're not going to carry their message? Do you see? Right, so I want you to go and figure out, okay, in the next couple of hours, couple of days, write it down, make it clear, make it plain. Hey, what was my grandfather's message? What was my grandmother's message? What was my father's message? What was my mother's message? What is their message right now if they're alive? I want to go and ask you a question, yourself these questions, ladies and gentlemen. Right? And now I made a promise to myself, which is I'm going to do whatever it takes to continue and support my grandmother's message. Right? Which was to take care of her grandkids. These are my cousins. And now I have to do whatever it takes to go make sure that they live a comfortable life. I now have to do whatever it takes to make sure that they are employed, they have jobs, they are doing whatever it takes to make their life better. Right? So I want to ask you, go and figure out. I want you to do me and yourself a huge favor. Go and figure out what was your grandparents' message. Right? So with that said, I want to thank everybody. I want to thank you again, once again, for all the dua. Okay, may Allah grant my mother, my grandmother, her grandfather, parents, and all of our forefathers. Okay, everybody that came before us, everybody that will come after us. I want God to have mercy on all of us. Right? Imagine yesterday night was the first night for her in her grave. Right? The night where the questioning takes place. And I was thinking about it the whole time. I'm like, man, tonight is the night for her. Munkar and Nakir coming to question, hey, who is this, who is that, who is this? Right? The start of a new life for her. But I was also made calm and cool, and I feel good, because then I know that because of the life that she's lived, all the people she's impacted, I know she's in a better position. Right? May Allah grant her Janatul firdows. I want to thank everybody for the kind words, for the messages, for the du'as. May Allah accept it from all of us. Thank you very much, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the day.